Hi, everybody. This is day 1402. Hold on, my battery. Okay, let's start over again. 1402 days since Richard has been murdered, and we don't have his body. This has been an amazing day. Lots of information again, and of course it's Sunday and it's Trinity Sunday, and I need to change. Matter of fact, I'm going to do that right now. I am going to change my banner. I've been wanting to do it all day long. It's on Whitsuntide, which is Pentecost. Okay, let's change it. I have them saved, and it is Trinity now. So today is Trinity Sunday. So let's put up this one here. I'll do that one. Can always change it. Trinity is so long. Such a long season because it's so important. Okay, so I can see you. And I'm going to get back to Richard. Okay, all right, Elizabeth, thank you so much. So we have tons of news again because of what's going on at the Real Fit Fam El Paso, and with Jules Tuganon Chan, and he seems to be pretty upset because he's going over to rub shoulders with people that have threatened us, that have harassed us, and engaging with them that intentionally want to hurt us. They want to be, they're malicious, and we have years to prove that. And now it's all coming out that this is so political that these individuals, several of these individuals, seem to be very, very connected to Veronica Escobar, the representative. So, that when all that comes out, and so this is where we're asking people that are sick and tired of this, and even if they have participated in this to make some money here and there, you need to come clean. You need to come clean now because things are really becoming clearer and clearer, and we have spent years collecting all the evidence, be it hard evidence, be it circumstantial evidence, be it irregularities from the very get-go, right? And we have been, we're pretty good now at putting it all together and sending it to the agencies, the institutions, the organizations that can help us. And, just keep on doing it, keep on doing it. And we have received many confirmations of investigations that are ongoing. And, and I'm talking about Bob Moore. I'm not talking about little fish. I'm talking about medium-sized fish. We're after the big fish, though, right? But the medium-sized fish like Bob Moore, who is up to no good with El Paso matters, that the controlling entity to that is the El Paso Community Foundation. So this is, and who collaborated with Bob Moore? Well, Jules Tuganon Chan at the Real Fit Fam El Paso. And, the story is that we saw that they were posting, and just only a few media outlets posted Richard's story because they knew it was a smear job. right? They knew that it was defamatory. And so we contacted the Real Fit Fam El Paso to let them know that that was defamatory, that that was not right, and we would like them to take it down. Um, and we were ignored. We were ignored. There was no response. And of course, we're always in desperation to protect Richard's character, to protect his legacy now that the Army has admitted that Richard was murdered on Fort Bliss. We are always eager to, protect his namesake for the memorial, right? For the memorial. And so we contacted, again, it's, you just go to the Instagram and then you can message them. And I was like, well, maybe the messaging doesn't work, whatever, but maybe I'll just pay them. We'll just pay them to put up Richard's story. They have that kind of platform where you can pay them and they can put up a story. That's, we thought that's how they made money, right? And there was no response. So, okay, that's how you make money, but you're not responding to, uh, you know, the story from the parents of the murdered soldier from Fort Bliss right there in El Paso. That's really odd, right? That's very odd. And so we thought, okay, let's look into who the Real Fit Fam El Paso is so that we can, contact them in a better way, right? And we found Jules Tuganon Chan. Um, and it was so shocking, y'all, because we found others. Because once you have the address, right, the registered address for that company, um, and you have the agent, the registered agent, Jules is listed as the registered agent and the manager, and then other managers and participants uh, pop pop up too, and you're just like, what, what? Because these are, then you're like, what is going on? And you do a little research, and they, for years, have wanted to work as anonymous, right? They wanted to work as stealth. And because their excuse was, what they cited was, we have day jobs. We have day jobs. Yeah, they've got day jobs. They've got day jobs with security, uh, secret clearance, right? With secret clearance. They have military affiliated jobs. They have military jobs. They have government jobs. They absolutely have day jobs. And absolutely no way is that compatible to their day jobs, are not compatible to the Real Fit Fam El Paso for profit social media page, right? Absolutely no way. And they know it. And that's why they kept it anonymous, right? They knew that it was illegal and they kept it anonymous. And or they were up to no good, right? Or just up to no good. And so when we posted, hey, and we didn't even realize at that time it was like such a secret thing. But we're like, okay, Jules Tuganon Chan, uh, you're the registered agent, you're the manager, you have a day job and a half. We need to speak to you. And that's when he freaked out, I think. I think that's when, I don't know, this maybe crying like a baby. I don't know. Crying like a baby. Oh my gosh. They exposed me now. They exposed me. Um, and it's not because we expose them. That's the problem. It's because they know what they're doing is illegal, that it's not right, that it is something they're not allowed to do. And um, then with the connection with Dallas Hart being there, and the connection with Ernest Christopher Grant. Okay, so you have the prime suspect in the murder of our son's case, right? So so Jules is connected to the prime suspect in the murder of our son, and then connected to the media sweetheart for the Walmart. Now, now you understand, if there's going to be a lot of people that try to defend him and everything and defend this, you're going to understand why now, right? And it gets even more interesting. But for now, you need to understand that they were up to no good. They put up Richard's a false story to hurt Richard. They wouldn't take it down. They wouldn't even acknowledge us, not even acknowledge us, right? Just ignore us. And then ignore our offer to pay them to put, if there's going to be a false story about Richard, why can't there be a true story about Richard from our point of view, right? And we would pay them to do that, right? So, and that was ignored. That was totally ignored. So this is, now he's crying like a baby. And he's not just crying like a baby. He took down his LinkedIn. Just suddenly took down his LinkedIn because his LinkedIn is his CV. And it has all his jobs in and everything. I saved it. It's very interesting. And so, I'm not, when I'm posting his LinkedIn CV information, that's not demeaning. That's not illegal of me. That's not right of me. Absolutely, it's right of me. I mean, Richard is a whistleblower that was murdered on Fort Bliss, and our we're been told for years that he was dismembered. That he was dismembered, and we know that Dallas Hart was Richard's platoon leader. And we have confirmation from the Army now, right? From the CID that Richard's platoon leader is Dallas Wayne Hart. Dallas Wayne Hart, the son of and I should say that's breaking news. Breaking news, breaking news. The Army has confirmed that Dallas Wayne Hart is Richard's platoon leader. Okay? See, the institutional support has slowly whittled away. And we have more breaking news, but I don't even have my head wrapped around it yet because it came out in the news today about Joe Spencer. And so tomorrow we'll share that breaking news with you once we think through it and I know how to present it. But breaking news for tomorrow. Come back tomorrow and we'll tell you all about Joe Spencer and his sidekick Felix Valenzuela, right? His sidekick Felix Valenzuela, Joe Spencer. And if you don't know who they are the defense attorney for Patrick Crusius. Okay, those are the defense, two of the defense team for Patrick Crusius. And we have, lights going round around like, you're at Kmart. We don't have Kmart anymore, but used to we had Kmart and the lights would twirl around when there was a special, when there was a breaking news, when there was, and that's what's going on right now with Joe Spencer and his sidekick, Felix Valenzuela. And we know it's big. We just have to understand it fully. So, and we have more breaking news, but tomorrow. The other very important news that we already broke that I want to talk about is our amicus. Our amicus that has the evidence that Bill Hicks is a usurper for the 34th judicial district attorney's office. That was accepted, I believe, May 14th. May 14th, it was accepted. I think it's 13th or 14th. I have my notes over here. But anyway, by the federal court. That is huge news. Huge. Because that means that they are reviewing the evidence that Bill Hicks perpetrated a fraud on the court, right? And also that he did election interference, because by fraud, by being a usurper in the office, he is really disrespecting thousands and thousands of votes for Yvonne Rosales. And that is election interference. So they engaged in election interference. And yeah, and then we have, of course, this Melendez Mendez, and the Melendez Mendez and the Mendez. Um, we're getting information. See, we're getting a lot of information right now. It's really coming forth that the Mendez and, the likes of Amber Chase, which is, you know, sh- they all have aliases. Okay, there's a lot of name playing in all of this, and Amber Chase doesn't seem to be any different. So, yeah, yeah, and and very connected to the Mendez, Melendez, and Escobar, with the Corinne Adeline. This is why it so explains the malicious site, because you have Corinne Adeline West, and you know the connections are now being put together, and it really uh, makes you go, oh, okay, now I understand. um, so it's all theater for politics, because the politics is the doorway to the contracts, to controlling the contracts, to making loads of money. And of course, in El Paso, um, to control the law enforcement, to control the Department of Justice there, the criminal justice system there, so that they can participate in the trafficking with impunity. That's very clear. And there is so much crime going on that it's going to be interesting when we find out every little detail about what Richard was complaining about, because we know through the audits that he was complaining about the weapons, right? The weapons and the ammunition being trafficked. And then we know through Belen Rocha that Richard was reporting to the Child Protective Services about the children, the children. So, and we know through another witness statement about the child pornography, many witness statements about the child pornography, and even the airdropping of the child pornography, of all kinds of pornography. And you have to remember that very clearly, Kanye West told us all the truth. And that's why he was retaliated against, I believe. And he told the truth that all pornography is child sex trafficking. Okay? It's all grooming. And, this is what we're seeing there in El Paso. We're seeing the sex cult. We're seeing the trafficking, be it gun trafficking, ammunition trafficking, kid trafficking, um, human trafficking, drug trafficking, uh, organ trafficking, because the common thread in all of this is the mortuary affairs, the funeral business, um, and that is, really absolutely is scary to think about, because then that corroborates uh, that Richard was dismembered, because they would have the ability to do it. And so it just makes you want to go and throw up, right? It does me all the time. So, um, thank you, Anicia, for coming on. Thank you so much, Danielle, for coming on. So, with the connection now coming full circle with Veronica Escobar, and with this Melendez Mendez, and with Corinne Adeline West, and with Corinne, another Corinne, okay, I'm not going to, another Corinne, and Amber Chase, then you go, aha, aha, no wonder, no wonder. And they're then not so scary, right? But they're trained to really destroy people. And you know, they're given that job. That means that they don't mind destroying people. And, and I know all about that because I've been on the end of their insults and their harassment and their death threats. And, because that site, don't forget, superimposed Richard's face on a recently executed death row inmate. That constitutes a death threat. It really does. And it's absolutely horrible to live through. Absolutely, um, really, really horrible. So, yeah, we want accountability for all of that. And now it's starting to come together. And I don't know how long it's going to take. I don't know how long. We're here. We're here until we get accountability. And not just for Richard, but also for El Paso, because the fraud has been perpetrated not just on the federal courts. The fraud has been perpetrated on the people of El Paso. They're paying for Bill Hicks's salary, right? And they're not getting um, the full value, right? They're not getting their money's worth. Uh, you know, clearly they're not. So, yeah. Um, we need to get justice for El Paso. We need to get justice for our service members there on Fort Bliss. We need to absolutely get justice for Richard. So that's what we're looking at. And I just want to tell everyone thank you so much. This is Trinity Sunday. Go and read the Athanasius Creed. It's just, it's long. It's long. It's so beautiful. It's so wonderful. And it is really the best description of to help you understand what the Trinity is all about. The God the Father, God the Son, and God the Holy Ghost. And I think that it's very, yeah, just, I can't explain to you today what all that meant. We had just such an awesome, awesome sermon. And that's what I'm thinking about today, and how much that strengthens you in your day-to-day life, right? So absolutely, it was wonderful. And I just want to say thank you so much for all the um, Memorial Day wishes for Richard. We've gotten so many. And thank you so much for Team Farm Richard Halliday putting that little memorial together. And yeah, we will be back tomorrow, God willing. And thank you. Please comment, please share, and please like.